So this is the second of a 5-part video series that I'm doing on self-publishing on KDP, Kindle's direct publishing on Amazon. I don't think these videos are going to be particularly entertaining, but hopefully they contain all the information that you need to self-publish. Also, I'm simply going to share my experience, the successes, the hurdles in setting up a KDP account and publishing for the first time. And the first obstacle that I encountered happened even before my KDP account was set up. It had to do with adding an Amazon-approved bank account, which I did not have. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about payments, which banks work with Amazon, which banks don't work with Amazon, and how to fix that problem. So, I'm going to jump right in. This video is about payments and bank accounts. So, let's look at the KDP's official payments page. Now, when you fill out to set up account page, on the first page, you're going to put your personal details and they're going to ask you for a bank account. And if you don't have one, you're not going to get further than the first page of setting up your Kindle Direct Publishing account. The first thing to note is the ways that you can get paid. And there are 3 options here: direct deposit, wire transfer, or check. It takes about 60 days to get paid after you've earned money. And if you look below, they lay it out month by month. So if you're concerned about when you're going to get paid and when you earn your money and when you're going to get paid, you can go look at that information on their website. Below that is what I call the fine print. There's a minimum threshold in each marketplace, as in each country, each bank, after deducting the applicable taxes, withholding. And this is again something that you're going to have to look at depending on where you are and what the rules and regulations are for taxes and government and earnings. I mean, you could do a paper check, I suppose. I don't know how long that's going to take. That's definitely not an option that I'm going to go for. So I chose the direct deposit. Since I live in Taiwan and I'm setting up a US dollar account through Amazon USA. So that definitely has to come wire transfer. So they talk a little bit about the handling fees and they show you how to set it all up, which looks pretty straightforward. So let's go directly to the process of setting it up. Now, as you can see, I've actually already set mine up, but I'm going to show you some of the issues that you might have when you try and set up yours, which starts right here, where you have to choose the country that you want to affiliate your Amazon account with. Now you see these highlighted ones, they're all good. You can affiliate that with your Amazon account, any of those countries. But let's try, for example, New Zealand. So, New Zealand, also good. You can set up an account if you have a New Zealand bank account number. So let's try something random like Israel. And as you can see, Israel is not affiliated and you cannot use an Israeli bank account number to set up Amazon. I'm originally from South Africa, so let's try South Africa. And again, not going to work. And currently I'm residing in Taiwan, so let's see if I'm going to have some luck with Taiwan. And there you have it. That is the big problem. How do you set up an account with Amazon if you do not have a bank account that affiliates with them or works with Amazon? Well, I found one solution at least. Payoneer or Pioneer. I'm not exactly sure how they want to pronounce that. Let's just say Payoneer for the sake of clarity. I'll say Payoneer. So Payoneer to me looks a lot like the old PayPal, but Payoneer seems to be a little bit more organized. They've got different languages. They've got call centers in different countries. And as far as I can tell, they don't really seem to have many or any complaints about their services. It is an online banking service, but they do open bank accounts for you at local banks in different countries. Not to mention, I don't really have a choice at this point. If I want to have a Kindle Direct Publishing account, I need a US dollar bank account number at a local bank that is affiliated with my KDP account. And if I don't have that, I won't be able to set up my KDP account. So I decided to go for Payoneer. So when you first set up your Payoneer account, you're going to need some personal details. You're going to need also the details of your bank in whichever country you are. So in my case, it would be Taiwan. My Taiwanese bank account name, location, address, bank number, SWIFT code, all of that stuff you're going to have to get from the bank to set this up. Now, another reason why I chose Payoneer is because if you have over $30, whatever the equivalent is in other countries, in your account, they will send you a debit MasterCard, which is actually quite cool. Now, this MasterCard works in any international bank, just like a debit card. You can also use it to pay for things online. You can draw money. And according to them, it works very much just like an ATM card. It seems almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Okay, so here are some of the issues that I ran into. So on their page, if you read a little bit through the terms and conditions, you're going to see this. Now, this one applies to opening a US dollar account, which is what I did, right? So if you open another currency, it might be slightly different. The first thing first is you have to have a bank transfer to you in US dollars from a local bank in the US. So US to US bank transfers only. The transfers from the US bank to your US bank has to come from a company account. Since I'm only going to use this for Amazon, which is a company, it's not a problem for me. But you can't have individuals transfer money to you, which is point number 3. Transfers from individuals will automatically be rejected. So it has to come from a company. Point number 4, wire transfers are not supported. And point number 5, transfers made from a company account owned by yourself is also not accepted. So, okay, so you can receive money to this bank account, but only from companies in the US, only in a local currency. And you cannot give yourself money, you cannot pay yourself money, whether it's from your own bank account or from your own company bank account. And you cannot receive money from individuals. Keep in mind that my bank account is a US dollar bank account, right? So one more thing I want to point out is point number 4, the wire transfer thing. Wire transfers are not supported. That's a little bit misleading. I didn't really understand what they meant by that. So I called the customer service for Payoneer, and she said that only US companies can make online transfers to my US dollar account with Payoneer. That to me is a wire transfer, but I think perhaps what they mean with wire transfers is that you cannot have international wire transfers. So if you want to get money into your US dollar account, it has to come from a US bank. If you want to get it into your New Zealand bank account, it has to come from a New Zealand bank. Perhaps that's what they meant. Okay, so then during my 5th call to Payoneer customer service, luckily they have a customer service center here in Taiwan, I asked what the minimum balance is that you need to remain in your account so that that account stays active. You know, sometimes when you don't have money in an account, they sort of close the account. And she said there is none, which is kind of cool. So the account stays open whether there's money in it or not. Then I asked her, in my case, since I'm living in Taiwan, what is the minimum and maximum amount of cash that I can eventually draw with that Payoneer card when I get it? And again, the customer service representative wasn't too clear on her answer. She said that it's only after I receive the card that they can tell me that type of information. Now that's a little bit concerning because let's just say, for example, that I get 20,000 US dollars from my first book sale, wishful thinking, but let's just say 20,000 US dollars. So am I now allowed to draw that money, or can I only draw it 100 US per day? So again, I wasn't too clear on exactly how much, but I guess when you get that card, eventually they will give you stipulations on how much you can draw per day. Now the good news is, after a few days of setting up this account, it was approved. And not only was my Payoneer account approved, but I got multiple local bank account options. Not only US dollar ones, but also an Australian one, a Japanese one, and some couple of other ones. And the US one seems to be able to work pretty well with Amazon, and there's already been some transactions on it. So in terms of my situation, this worked out really well. I only want to use the Payoneer account for Amazon, and for Amazon I need a local US dollar bank account, and both of these things work very well together, and it works. So the moral of the story here is there definitely is some risk involved when you're working with online banking and things like that. But you know what? At some point, you sort of just have to take a gamble and hope for the best, which is what I did. Besides, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to set up my KDP account. So I didn't really have that much option. I needed that bank account, US dollar bank account, to be able to set up my KDP account on Amazon.